Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Inside Line Racing here at the ILR4 tier for the Mexican Grand Prix. What a track it is. My name is Austin Smith, and I welcome you to this race. We are headed here to this wonderful track. We see the stadium section right here. It is an iconic place. And we can't wait. We have 18 minutes of qualifying. You know how this goes here. We have 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 50% race. And just give me a second here to get everything ready. 14 drivers here tonight. And we are about to get underway. The clock is already ticking, as you can see. And we're only waiting for the first driver to head out to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, named after the two Rodriguez brothers. Ricardo Rodriguez, who unfortunately died here in 1962, and his brother Pedro, who had a lot of success in motor racing and in Formula 1 as well. And we have Flying Cooper out the first one on track here, but we see a lot of cars here. The Alfa Romeo of Flying Cooper is the first. We have Terra Racer, Slenderman, and Josh also out on their outlaps already. BWRT Paul joining them. It is getting quite hectic here early on. What needs to be said is that the usual qualifying time is quite low here because we have those two long straights, and it is a rather short track overall with only 4.3 kilometers, that we will get a qualifying time around it's going to be somewhere between a 110 and a 119, so 1:1. That's what we can promise you already. I doubt we'll get into the 109s or lower. Very much doubt that. But yeah, Flying Cooper out. So the track only marginally longer than a minute here. One of the fastest laps on the calendar in terms of time. Not necessarily in terms of average speed. That would obviously be Monza. But here we are with Flying Cooper. Let's have him take us around this track for once. The long straight here into turn one. And Paresh is already disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous location. First disqualification already. Flying Cooper through the first three corners there. Right, left, right. Now onto the second long straight. And again, another heavy braking zone right here into turn four. Goes a little bit deep, but it's fine. Turn five, even slower than that. Turn 6 and 7, the double right-hander here. Not part of the stadium section, but as you can see, it kind of looks like a stadium as well. Now turn 8, we get into the S's here. 9, 10, very quick. You have to be on your toes here. 11, 12. 11 a little tricky. 12 is full speed. And now we head towards the stadium. Turn 13, coming up another heavy braking zone right here. Good overtaking opportunity. Turn 14, left-hander, one of the slowest corners on the track. 15, full speed. 16... and out of the stadium again, and onto the start-finish straight. Short run up to the line, and it is a pretty good lap here. 116.6, but instantly, Josh, 114.8. There we go. 115.8 by Terra Racer. Slenderman, 115.1. The lap times are coming in bit by bit. We have BWRT Paul, who goes back into the pit lane, takes the bollard with him. Rob Forbes did set a lap time, but apparently it was invalidated. Mr. Sky coming across the line. He goes fastest, 114.65. Who else we have? Flying Frome coming through the stadium and the final corner right here. What's his lap time going to be in the Racing Point? And then we are waiting for... it is P4, 115.1. And then we're waiting for QVR Chill. He is going to be the last one to set a lap time, at least for this first run of drivers, as both Noel Petrick and Rob Forbes have invalidated their laps. and everyone else has either set their lap, and it is a 1:15.5 for QVR Chill. They've either set their lap times, or they've invalidated their laps, or they're still in the pits, as Paul has aborted his lap, and Rich, I think, hasn't even come out of the pits yet. Let's look at Chaza here. He's in the second sector. In the Toro Rosso. Soon to be renamed in 2020 as Alpha Tauri. Not to mix him up with Alfa Romeo, obviously. We have two Alpha teams next year then. One spelled with an F, Alfa Romeo, one spelled with a PH, Alpha Tauri. Now still known as Toro Rosso. Chaza is about to start his first flying lap. Obviously, the drivers have plenty of flying laps. There is no limit. 18 minutes, that is the limit. But in that time frame, they can set as many lap times as they like. And here he comes into the first corner. Yeah, late on the braking. Ooh, losing a little bit of time there. And he's not attacking the curbs as much as he's able to, so that probably cost him a bit of time. Let's see the first sector split. It is a 28.1. We've seen 27s already, so he is lacking a bit there. Second sector needs to be the bomb. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to challenge for a top 2 spot. He might be able to challenge Slenderman and Flying Throne for 3rd and 4th. With a 1:15.1 each. Let's see, second sector split comes right here. There you go. I was waiting for it a little bit. 56.3. That's okay. That's okay. He's still within range there of, I would say, 3rd or 4th. Final sector didn't look too good, honestly. Lost a bit of time there. Again, by not attacking the curbs as much as he might be able to. And it's only a 1:15.8. P6 behind QVR Chill, even just ahead of Terra Racer. We also have Konzo coming across the line right here. 58.0. He should. Oh, he invalidated his lap. There you go. And BWRT Paul is also in the running. He aborted his first lap, remember. Went back into the pits straight up. And now he's back out again, trying to set another lap. 56.0. Oh, that might be challenging QVR Chill for P5 if he gets a good last sector. Yeah, it really abuses the curb there, but I think it was legal. Oh, misses the apex on the final corner. And he comes across the line. No ERS anymore. Still P5. Still a 10th ahead of QVR Chill, despite missing the apex on the final corner. Very well done there for BWT Paul. There was certainly more possible, but I think he's going to be happy with it as Rob Forbes is about to start his lap, and Rich 500 has also come out of the pit lane, so he's on an out lap. Konzo, meanwhile, 5-place grid penalty. Let's see what happened. Where is he? There he is. Really slow, and he collided with Josh, allegedly. And there is Josh. The two teammates come together, and Konzo gets a 5-place grid penalty. There is no front wing on BWT Josh's car. It's completely gone. And let's look at Konzo. He's right here. His front wing is still fine, so it must have been that he was slow and Josh ran into the back of him. Oh, the two McLarens hurting each other massively. Josh might be able to recover, but Konzo 5-place grid penalty, and he hasn't even set a lap time yet. He's in the pits now. Josh's in the pits now. Let's look at Rob Forbes. He is without a time currently. In the Renault, but he's going to set one. Unless he invalidated it, which is a possibility around this track here, certainly. Through the final corner, hits the apex early on the throttle, and it is going to be fastest, a 1:14.5. We're halfway through the session, and Rob Forbes takes provisional pole. just to have it taken away by Terra Racer in the Red Bull, who beat him by 1/100th of a second. 10 milliseconds, that's all it took. Unbelievable. This is getting really, really close here at the top of the table right now. And we have some more drivers. Mr. Skyzy through the middle sector right now, but he's already slowed down. Yep, he's already slowed down. He's probably on his way into the pits. QVR Chill might be on a run. No, 100% ERS, he's definitely not on a run. No, Patrick out there on 5-lap-old hards. I don't know what exactly he's doing there. To be fair, they're really 6.5-lap-old mediums at this point, because the outlap doesn't count when you see the lap counter there on the left. And he's got another half lap in already, and he's coming towards the end of this lap. So 7-lap-old hards at this point. Seems like he's trying to get some experience on the track. Rich 500, meanwhile up to P7, 115.3 in the Ferrari. Just beats out his teammate BWRT Paul, who is in the pits as of now. BWRT Paul, one of only 2 drivers on this grid and in ILR4 in general, who haven't scored a single point this season so far. However, it needs to be said that BWRT Paul got disqualified in Australia, missed 4 races, did not finish the last 5 races, and Flying Throne, for him, it's the debut here at ILR4. He hasn't competed in a single race so far this season. This is his first here, just joined the ILR4 tier, and he is, well, he's currently in P6, so he's looking pretty good for points finish, it seems. He could do this. BWT Paul P8, he might get his first points here today. Rich 500 probably on his way into the pits right now. Who we have? We have Konzo out on track. First sector 27.9. There you go. This is into the 27s. Pretty good first sector. Nailed the first 3 corners. Couldn't see it, but from the sector time, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not the best, 27.9, but it is pretty good. Through the second sector, the S is here. Just keeps it on track. That is good. And a 55.4. Oh my. This is a really, really good lap time so far. He could certainly challenge for a top 5 spot here, if not more. The question is, how much is it going to be? And did that cut of this corner, the right-hander there in the stadium, just invalidate his lap time? No, it didn't. P4 114.7. He got away with one there. Left the track with all 4 wheels, but, you know, the game doesn't say that was a penalty. The stewards decided against it, and I doubt he gained a lot of time from it. I doubt he gained a position from it. P4 114.7, really good lap from Konzo. He redeemed himself after, well, getting the 5th-place grid penalty for having Josh colliding into him, causing a collision with his teammate. Of all people. But for Konzo, obviously, this would be P9, after all, with the penalty. Let's go to Slenderman, who just started his lap. Or let's see, do we have someone else? We have BWT Paul, who also just started his lap. Chazza's coming across the line and improves 1 position. At least. Flying Cooper comes across the line. Nope, goes into the pits. Goes into the pits, so he aborts the mission. BWT Paul is on the 2nd straight. Okay, we're gonna look at Slenderman first, then BWT Paul. Slenderman's is bound to come across the line first. And into the final sector he goes. Through the stadium once more. Oh, yeah, really trying to make the most of the track limits here. Was it the most or was it too much? It was apparently too much. I think he invalidated his lap there and has to come into the pits to abort that mission. BWT Paul also coming into the pits. Now this right here is the calm before the storm. We have 2 drivers out on track, QVR Chill and Terra Racer currently on provisional pole. Everyone else waiting for the right moment to exit the pit lane on the softs. This will be basically a shootout. Every single one here trying to get this one lap in and get as good a time as possible. QVR Chill is going to be the first one to start his lap. Here he comes. We're going to stay on the Haas right here, number 24. Oh, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is not good. There are slow cars ahead of him who are just on their outlaps. Can he navigate the traffic, or is this going to be his downfall? So far, so good. Get some slipstream off his teammate. Look at this. That was a Monza scenes. His teammate then goes out of the way. Fantastic. Oh, that was... Oh, when he spins! QVR Chill has spun in the second sector. I'm sorry. And that is his lap over, basically. I'm sorry, I have a bit of the cold. And my throat is feeling quite rough, but I'm still doing this. Let's look at Terra Racer. He hasn't spun. He's still on a lap here. Second sector split. What is it going to say? 54.997. He is on pace for 114.2 right now. Maybe even a 114.1 if he can nail this final sector. Even better than he did previously. Final corner misses the apex slightly there. Probably 114. Oh, 114.1. There you go. Improves by almost 0.4 of a second. Mr. Skyzy just started his lap. Flying Frome is a little further down the road. Let's look at him. Through the S's he goes. What is his lap time going to be? We saw 54.9 after 2 sectors from Terra Racer. And, yeah, Flying Frome is not there, but he's still on pace to improve. The question is how much? Is it going to be enough for a position? He needs 0.4 to improve 2 positions, really. Because both BWT Josh and Slenderman are so close to each other. Is he going to be able to do it? No, he is not. He does improve 115.0. Does not break into the 114s just yet. Mr. Skyzy should come next. Oh, 1/4 of a second faster. Enough for pole? I don't think so. P2 most likely. Yes. Up to P2. Not provisional pole. Rob Forbes coming through the stadium section. What is it going to be for him? He's not the only one there. There's someone ahead of him. A Haas, it seems. This might be QBR Chill or Mr. Sky. I don't know. It's not Skyzy. Rob Forbes does improve. No, he does not improve. In fact, he invalidated his lap, so it didn't count. It was an improvement by 0.06 of a second. Wouldn't have made a position anyway. But it was an invalid lap to begin with. BWT Josh, 114.8. No improvement for him. Rich, 500. Chazza up to P8. 115.1. Rich aborts. Flying Cooper retires from the session. Noel Petrick, I think he wants to start from the back with his medium tires. He's the only one on the medium, so I would be surprised if there's any kind of improvement into the top 11. Flying Frome retires. We get more and more retirements, and he stays in P12. He did improve, but he also invalidated his lap. However, we also have Slenderman right here. He's probably the last one to set a lap here. Rich 500 has finished. Slenderman comes across the line, does not improve. He would have improved up to P4, but also an invalid lap. And here comes Mr. Skyzy into the pits, and it will be Terra Racer on pole position for the Mexican Grand Prix. After the win in Japan, He comes back right here with a pole position as well. So pole position win last time. We have to say it wasn't quality on the Inters. Quite wet in qualifying. But he goes on second pole in a row for Terra Racer for the Dutchman. And this is your full qualifying result. Terra Racer, Mr. Skyzy, Rob Forbes, Konzo, Slenderman, Josh, Flying From, Chaza, Rich, BWT Paul, Chill, Flying Cooper, No Patrick, and A1M Paresh. However, it needs to be said, as we can see here, that both Konzo, well, as we can see now, both Konzo and Josh got 5 position penalties. So the McLarens will not start in P4 and 6. Instead, will start in P8 and 11. Konzo only losing 4 positions because Josh also has a penalty, and so they both move back in tandem. And so it's P8 for Konzo and P11 for Josh. Those are the rules of how the penalties are applied. Unless they've changed it, which I don't think they did, but we'll see. We are waiting for the drivers to log in their strategies. And get ready for at least for the start, dry Mexican Grand Prix. Most likely, though, it will stay dry throughout the race. I would be surprised if we see some rain hitting in this race. And there you go. Yeah, Konzo P8, Josh P11. So, because of his teammate's penalty, Konzo got a little bit lucky there. Only lost 4 places instead of 5, really. But still, it's not what you want. And Konzo's going to have to work to come back here and work his way through the field. 36 laps. It will be, according to the laps at least, quite a long race. But remember, only a minute and, in the race, about a minute and 20 lap times. So it's not that, you know, it's not that that long, because the lap time itself is quite short. But yeah, a lot of strategy going into this. And who can come out on top? Can Terra Racer repeat, go back to back wins in Japan and now in Mexico, or is Mr. Skyzy able to get his 11th points finish in a row and top it off with a win here in Mexico? Or is someone else outside the first row able to get the win? We only had 5 different winners so far this season, it seems. Well, we had more, but some drivers left the league, and of the ones currently in the league, we only have 5 winners. Them being ILRGT Leon, Chaza, who's starting from P6, he has a chance there. He won Australia, the first race, and Hungary. Slenderman, he's starting from P4, he has a chance. He won China. Energy Zeus, who is not here tonight. And obviously Terra Racer, who won last time out in Suzuka. The drivers get ready, they're on the grid. 36 laps, the Mexican Grand Prix. We are waiting for the 5 red lights. And here they come. ILR4, the Mexican Grand Prix, is underway, and it seems to be a good start for Mr. Skyzy. He's almost alongside there. The long run up to turn 1. Let's hope all the drivers make it through quite well. And Rob Forbes trying to have a look. And I think they all made it through well. Yes, indeed they did. Rob Forbes trying to have a cheeky look down the inside. It's not there. Terra Racer keeps the lead for now. Into turn 4, and he still keeps it. Mr. Skyzy tries to take the position back from Rob Forbes, and I think they touched. And Rob Forbes, oh, they're still side by side. Look at this. But now Rob Forbes squeezes him out and gets the position P2 for him. Meanwhile, we see QVR Chill already losing 3 positions. Not a good start for Rich 500 either. Flying Foam lost 2 positions. Konzo already gained 2 here on the first lap. Massive gains there. Chaza moving 1 up in the Toro Rosso on the mother team of Red Bull and on Slenderman. And we have a yellow flag. What happened? Is it really just because the drivers are slow? Oh my god. And Slenderman into the pits. Slenderman into the pits already. Lap 1, front wing damage it seems. Indeed, the nose is being changed. Onto the hards he goes. And he's not the only one. Rich also comes in. So 2 drivers already in the pits with front wing damage and with changes. And onto the hards they go. They're going to try to make it on the hards for 35 laps. I'm not sure it's possible, but it might be. If their tire management is good, they might be able to pull it off. Meanwhile, Noah Patrick already with a 3-second time penalty. Easy to cut the corners here. Penalties are going to be a major factor in this one. Terra Racer trying to get away from his chasers, Rob Forbes and Mr. Skyzy. But he can't pull a gap on these 2. Behind Chaza, he is off by over a second on this trio in finale here. But he's also almost a second clear of Konzo, who's already worked his way through the field quite well. A1M Paresh capitalized a bit on the issues that Slenderman and Rich had, as well as Noah Patrick and QVR Chill. And here goes Rob Forbes into the lead through the braking zone, and he keeps the lead. Rob Forbes, now your race leader. Can he defend it here on the second straight? Yes, he can. Remember this year, 10-second time penalty for Flying Cooper. Wow, what did he do? Corner cutting, it says. That must have been in the double right-hander, I think. Rob Forbes trying to pull a gap himself. Yeah, I'm not able to do so. Oh, and Mr. Skyzy into the wall. He's out of the race. Mr. Skyzy with just a fault of his own. No influence by any other driver there. And he just puts it into the wall. Yellow flag, the car in the middle of the road. Rob Forbes fastest lap. He was just ahead of this. So, he got lucky there. But, my goodness. Mr. Skyzy throws it away on lap 3 already. There comes Slenderman and Rich 500 as well. Mr. Skyzy, what have you done? His last DNF was Canada. He only had 3 DNFs this whole season. And again, the last one was in Canada, race 7. We're in round 18 now. This is very uncharacteristic for Mr. Skyzy, who is basically the epitome of consistency. But we have a first retirement already, And the trio ahead has turned into a duo as we have Konzo ahead of Chaza. And for some reason, the times aren't updating. Why is the time tower not updating? What is happening? Oh, there we go. I think we're back. Yeah, there you go. All right, fantastic. A little bit of a glitch there, but we are back with the time tables and time towers. Everything's good again, and Konzo trying to get away from Chaza and Flying From here. Meanwhile, Rob and Terra Racer fighting it out for the lead. DRS for Terra Racer, he's not there. He can't make the move just yet. And right behind you can see Konzo and Chaza slowly losing connection to the top two here and having a battle of their own, really. Konzo trying to get away from this, but how much is he able to do? Let's see. Oh, there's no DRS zone here. I thought there was a DRS zone. I thought in 2019. I'm pretty sure there was a DRS zone on this straight before the stadium section here, but not on the game apparently. So our two DRS zones, the first one coming up right here. The detection point is between turns 14 and 15, so right after the right-hander in the stadium section. And here comes Terra Racer with DRS down the inside and completes the overtake before the braking zone. That was about as easy as taking candy away from a child. Wow. By the way, guys, please don't do that. Don't take candy away from a child. And Rob Forbes trying to counter right here, or is he? Not able to do it. Ooh, he got really close there, dangerously close in the braking zone, but able to stay away from Terra Racer's rear. And no damage sustained because there was no contact, but it got close. And Konzo pulling a gap on the guys behind, trying to reel in the top two. QVR Chill with a penalty. The formerly Renault-powered Red Bull and the currently Renault-powered Renault. Fighting it. Oh, Rob Forbes. Look at this, with a huge mistake there. Over a second. Was he in the detections? Was he in the 1 second zone at the detection point? No, he wasn't. That mistake cost him no DRS for Rob Forbes. And Flying From and BWT Josh in the pits. Is it for a front wing? Lap 7 is quite early here, or at the end of lap 6 rather. No front wing change, so this is a scheduled pit stop for both of them. And do I see that correctly? Yes, BWT Josh goes on to the softs. So this will be a two-stop race for him, Flying Cooper as well in the pits, and BWT... Oh, I'm sorry. BWT Paul, but those two have had front wing changes, and they go both on the hard. So for them, this is not a scheduled pit stop, but apparently for Flying From and BWT Josh, it was. Interesting things happening here. Stranger things, if you will. And Konzo trying to reel in Rob Forbes, who again is dangerously close to falling out of the 1 second window. Here, this line right there is the DRS detection zone. And again, over a second away, just over a second away. No DRS for Rob Forbes. Once the DRS zone comes, which is right here. Yes, indeed, no DRS for him. And Flying From picks up a 3-second time penalty. Paresh and Chaza, the two Toro Rossos, fighting it out. Paresh on a different strategy here. As Noel Petrick comes into the pits, changes from the softs to the... mediums. There you go. To the mediums. I doubt he's going to make it to the end. I would be surprised. I think this might be a two-stop for him as well. Yeah, let's stay with these two Toro Rossos here for a bit. It's the closest battle we have in the top... everything. It's the closest battle we have on track. Maybe together with Flying From and BWT. Josh, who are about 9/10ths apart. These two here are 7/10ths apart. As Josh picks up a 3-second time penalty here for some corner cuts for multiple warnings. And Rob Forbes in the pits. At the end of lap 8, Rob Forbes decides to pit. No front wing change, obviously, goes on to the hards. A one stop for him, soft to hard. He's going to take those to the end of the race. Where does he come out of the pits? Behind QVR Chill, I think. Oh, this is going to get close, but yes. Or? Oh, he might be able to make it. They're side by side. Oh, but Chill round the outside. And now Forbes gets him back. Well done. Well done. Around the outside of the second corner there. The left-hander. And gets the position back up to P5. And that is important. He needs some free air in front of him. He needs no traffic right now to maybe reel in Terror Racer and get away from Konzo a bit more. Oh, whoa, okay. That was a bit of lag right there. We apologize. Terror Racer now into the pits. Does Konzo follow? Yes, he does. Paresh stays out, obviously. Chaza also stays out on the soft. So, Paresh was obvious on the mediums, but Chaza on the softs, taking one more lap. And here is Terror Racer. Let's stay with him to see where he comes out. And let's, you know what? Let's look at Rob Forbes from his perspective. And he gets Terror Racer, Rob Forbes, into the lead. Terror Racer P2, effective P2. Josh P3. And then QVR Chill, who hasn't pitted yet, in this gaggle of cars here ahead of Flying From. And Konzo, really, really bad pit stop for him here. He lost a lot of time there, and will lose more. At the very end of this whole gaggle of cars. That is unlucky. Noel Patrick with another 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, the two Toro Rossos, 1 and 2, and as I say that, it is Chaza into the wall. Front wing damage, the end plate is off, and he will come into the pits. He is struggling with fuel as well, already this early in the race. Oh my. So that will be a front wing change for the Toro Rosso driver here. And that was what he really didn't need. And onto the softs, no, onto the hard. What? It is a bit buggy there, but yeah, onto the hards he goes, and this will be a drive to the end for him as well. So it's only Paresh solely in the lead, then followed by Terror Racer, who got back at Rob Forbes on the softs, but Terror Racer's going to have to do one more pit stop, I think. I don't think he's going to take these softs to the end. I very much doubt that. So Rob Forbes, currently in the best position, it seems like. He can take those hards to the end, and Terror Racer needs to pull a gap ASAP. This is going to be interesting. We see plenty of different strategies. 1 stop, 2 stop, soft to hard, medium to hard. Medium to soft again, most likely. Or to medium again. We don't know. Anything could happen, really, in this race. And Terror Racer has pulled the gap on Rob Forbes, as he should on those soft tires. And interestingly enough, we have ILRT J. Cole in the chat saying, don't pee in that seat, please, Rob. Need it for next week. I think Rob might pull a Jensen Button here and actually do pee in the seat. But, you know, you never know. You're going to feel it next week, J. Cole. I'm pretty sure. Meanwhile, Terra Racer trying to get more of a gap there. It's almost 2 seconds at this point. Right now, Terra Racer is really just driving against the time. Meanwhile, Konzo went flying Frome into turn 4. Had Konzo around the outside. That was magnificent. And Flying Frome picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think he went too deep into turn 5, that was? Yeah, I think he went too deep into turn 5. Now through the S's, or as I like to call them, 7-11, because those are the turn numbers 7 to 11 on the official AF1, on the official F1. Sorry, on the official F1 track map. Through turn 16 and full speed through 17, probably also known now as the Bottas corner. And Konzo trying to defend here from Flying Frome. He really is flying today. First points on the cards as BWT Pole has retired from the session. Flying Frome really flying towards possibly his first points in his first race here in the ILR4. P6 would be a fantastic debut for the Racing Point driver. Meanwhile, I think we're going to see a battle here between Slenderman and Chazza. Yep, really close to each other. And Flying from another 3-second time penalty. This might ruin his day. If he gets too many of those pesky penalties, this might really ruin his day and ruin his position. This was not the first time we saw his name pop up in the bottom left. And again, you see Chazza struggling with fuel. The yellow indicator right there says, or basically means, that he is below his fuel target. He's also got another pit stop scheduled for some reason, which I don't understand at all. And now he doesn't. There you go. Now it has disappeared. But yeah, he tries maybe to overtake here with DRS assistance. Down the inside he goes and gets the move done into turn 1. Up to P8. P7 effectively, because QVR Chill still has to do a pit stop, and he's just about 7 seconds ahead. 6 seconds up the road, really. Ooh, missing the first apex there, Chazza. Getting Slenderman back into this. And Noel Patrick with another 3-second penalty. Some of these drivers are really collecting these penalties, and it is gonna hurt them. Noel Patrick right now is on the final points position, P10, but with those penalties, I doubt he'll be able to keep this point. And speaking of, he's dropping down. Oh, made a mistake there. Turn 11, that is. Yeah, the S is, I mean, I'm a bit surprised. I mean, to be fair, it needs to be said that it's quite easy to lose the rear end in those S's, but I'm still a bit surprised, I have to say. Oh, there's Flying Cooper! Spun on the exit of turn 16, goes into the pits. He has front wing damage indeed, and now a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well on top of it. Very unlucky for the Alfa Romeo driver. Rob Forbes picks up a penalty, and that might be crucial. Terra Racer has to go into the pits once more. However, if he can just get within 3 seconds of Rob Forbes, he has a really good chance of winning this race. A1M Paresh, the on-track leader of the race, now in the pits for his first, and on the softs, is he on a 2-stop as well? Because you can't take these softs 20 laps, or 21 laps even. I think he's on a 2-stop as well. A1M Paresh, interesting strategy. PWT Josh in the pits onto the mediums. Most likely he will take those to the end, as QVR Chill also in the pits. Oh, there we go. Onto the hards he goes. Yep, that is a 1-stop for QVR Chill. He will go out and finish his race. So some interesting stuff here with the strategies. A1M Paresh, let's see what he can do. 2.5 seconds behind Flying Chrome, but on fresher and softer tires. He should be able to reel in Flying Chrome quite quickly. The Dutchman against the Brit. And then Konzo, another Brit. In fact, we only have Dutchmen and Brits on the first... Hold on. This is remarkable. On the first 7 positions. BWOT Josh is the first one who's neither from the Netherlands nor from the UK. He's from South Africa. And then Rich 500, another Brit. QVR Chell, another Brit. Noel Petrick, another... Oh no, he's Hungarian. There you go. That's a bit exotic right there. And then Flying Cooper. I don't even see him in the... Where is he? I have no idea. But anyway, and then we had BWT Paul, also UK, and Mr. Skyzy, the French driver, the only French driver already out. Very unfortunate. But completely under his own fault. And there goes A1M Paresh after a mistake by flying from in the S's. Gets the position basically handed to him on a silver platter. Unbelievable. Well, I'm pretty sure he liked that. Next up is Konzo for him. Again, huge tire advantage for Paresh. He wasn't close enough in the DRS zone, but he might be close enough for some slipstream here. Nah, it doesn't seem so. He loses more time. Yeah, he loses time to Konzo. Maybe his setup isn't as much geared towards... Why is there a yellow flag? Oh, Flying Cooper again! Spun, and a 3-second time penalty for what exactly? For standing there? And he does get the car around and is able to go again. Very unfortunate, and he does retire from the session after all. Yeah, really a race to throw away for the Alfa Romeo driver. And he's going to try to collect himself and get back in better shape next time. And look at this, Paresh has closed up to the McLaren of Konzo. And here he comes. This is for P3 right now. However, Paresh still has to go into the pits one more time. Konzo might have to as well. So this would actually be for P3 right here. Although Slenderman is probably going to go to the end of the race, as is Chaza, so there might be a chance here, but we'll see. Paresh up to P3, there he goes. And still has DRS for the second straight, obviously, because there's only one detection zone for these two DRS zones. And now Paresh will be hunting after the Renault of Rob Forbes. Well, it is the Renault, as we said before, of J. Cole, but Rob Forbes filling in for him today. And doing a superb job, honestly. P2. This would be his best result, Rob Forbes' best result this season. He had a P5 as a reserve driver in Singapore. But P2 is obviously miles better. Still has 3 seconds of a gap to Rob Forbes. As we are just past the halfway point of this race, so plenty of time to go. Only we have BWT Josh and Slenderman fighting for 6th position right now. Josh taking that spot away from Slenderman. And Cheza also lining up, it seems, on much fresher hard tires. And Josh needs to gain some time mostly. He can't gain any more positions really. Next driver up the road is Flying From, 17 seconds, almost 18 seconds, so that's going to be really tough to do, but he can gain some time because, you know, I mean, maybe he could actually gain a position because Flying From still has to come into the pits. Terror Racer for his second pit stop, there he comes. And Rob Forbes will assume the lead, and Terror Racer onto the mediums he goes. That's his second scheduled pit stop. No traffic for him, that's the good news. 16 seconds to Rob Forbes is the bad news. He needs to gain a second a lap on the hard tire runner up ahead. And that's going to be a challenge and a half for him. He needs to make the most of these tires right now. The most time is certainly going to be gained here through 7-11, through the S's, turn 7 to turn 11. And he already gained half a second just there. And a bit more maybe through the stadium section. Well, it seems so. Gain another 2/10 since entering. The gap is coming down. Is it coming down fast enough? That is the question. After one lap, it's about 9/10. It's not enough. Flying From in the pits. Onto the mediums he goes. Where's he going to come out? Josh flies past. Slenderman goes past. Chazza goes past. P8 it is. But right in the thick of right in the thick of things. Certainly with a chance to get all those positions back. Certainly against Chaz and Slenderman. Most likely against Josh as well. Towards the latter stages of the race. And not much going on here right now. Maybe let's look at Chazza. As we said before, he may be lining up a move on Slenderman. And meanwhile, he does get under pressure from Flying From, who is on those tires at the very least, really flying out here. With DRS, I think he's going to be able to get past. However, no, I don't think Chazza will have DRS. No, he does not. Look at this. So easy pickings here for Flying Frome, who goes past down the inside and easily completes the move before the braking zone. Oh, Chaza. That looked wild there, but no harm, no foul. Chaza trying to find a way past, then thinking better of it. Being quite happy here with P8 as of now. Flying Frome trying to attack the next one, Slenderman. Now, if Chaza plays it smart, he's using Flying Frome to get past Slenderman himself. Basically mug him off at some point, but it seems like Chaza is not able to keep up with Flying Frome here. So it doesn't seem like he has a chance to gain that position. Not a good enough overtaking opportunity here for Flying Frome. He has to wait for the DRS. And that cost him time. Meanwhile, Rob Forbes and Paresh are fighting for the lead. But Paresh is going to have to do one more pit stop. That is the crux here for him. And he will drop down to P4 most likely when he does. That being said, Konzo also has to do another pit stop. Rob Forbes is fine. He will be able to go to the end. Rob Forbes' fight really is with Terra Racer, and Rob Forbes goes really wide there on the exit of turn 11. My goodness. Just saw that from the corner of my eye and the corner of the camera as well. Rob Forbes, is he within DRS range to at least capitalize on that? Yes, he is. At least he got some DRS. He's not going to be able to attack, but at least he gets this little boost to stay with Paresh and get his lap times down a little bit. And gain some time in the fight against Terra Racer, who is now up to P3 because Konzo is in the pits for his final pit stop. 12 laps on the soft, certainly manageable. Paresh, I would expect into the pits at the end of this or the next lap. And he comes up right ahead of Flying Frome, but behind BWT Josh. Josh, however, is on older medium tires. Konzo on the fresh soft, so this shouldn't be too hard for Konzo to get this position back on his teammate. But they have come together in qualifying. Let's hope they don't come together in the race as well. Meanwhile, Rich in the pits will most likely drop down to P11 behind Noel Petrick. Or he may be able to keep it. Onto the mediums, Rich goes. And there goes Paresh. Onto the softs again. He already used the mediums at the start of the race. However, he also has to serve a 5-second penalty here. Oh, that hurts him a lot. Where's he going to come out? I think behind this whole group of Josh and Konzo. Maybe ahead of Flying Frome, but it's going to be tough. No, I think he'll be behind Flying Frome. Oh, no. Side by side with Flying Frome, in fact. But Frome gets the position at first, at least. Paresh trying to get the position back as quickly as he can. Round the outside of turn 4, which turns to the inside for turn 5, and he gets it done. Well done, Paresh. On the fresher, softer tires, but nonetheless a really good overtake on the racing point here. And now we're looking at the gap. Terra Racer to Rob Forbes. The gap is 9 seconds. With 10 laps to go, so it looks good for Terra Racer, in fact, that he's going to be able to catch Rob Forbes. who, by the way, don't forget, also has a penalty. I think Terror Racer does not have a penalty. Meanwhile, let's look back a little bit because Paresh is lining up BWRT Josh. Konzo has already made it past his teammate. And if I was Konzo and I was in some kind of voice communications with Josh right now, I'd tell him to hold up Paresh as much as possible. As much as legally possible. Because Paresh right now is flying. Oh, and there is some damage! Damage, and Chaza has retired! What happened there? Oh no, I think I know what happened there. We're gonna get towards it. Here's the yellow flag. So in the span of seconds... Yeah, it's what I expected. Oh no. Chaza puts it into the wall again. On the exit of turn 12 into the stadium. Spins to the inside, basically just like Mr. Skyzy did. Similar fashion. And shortly after, Paresh loses part of his front wing while trying to overtake Josh, who also out of the race. What is going on, my guys? Where did that happen? We have a yellow flag here, green flag again. Yellow flag again. Oh, to the left? What? How did he get there? That is very peculiar. What has happened there? Interesting stuff. I said before, stranger things have happened, but I'm not sure many stranger things have happened. To be honest. Meanwhile, Terror Racer is closing in more and more on the Renault of Rob Forbes. Seven seconds now, the gap. With 7.5 laps to go. This is going to get really close. However, again, remember, Rob Forbes has a 3-second penalty. Terror Racer, from my knowledge, has not. Oh, but if he keeps driving like this, he might get one. Stewards are very, very quick to hand out penalties for stuff like that. Extending the track limit on the exit of a corner, especially turn 11. Very easy to do there. And very, very quick to be punished. But it seems like he gets away with it. Maybe he did get a warning for it, but didn't accrue 3 warnings just yet. 6.8. In the first sector, already down to 6.6, 6.5 even. The second sector is even slower and especially more grip dependent as Rob Forbes picks up another 3-second time penalty. So 6 seconds now for him. Maybe he's cracking a bit under pressure. Yeah, this time he keeps 2 wheels on the black stuff, and Terror Racer certainly no warning for this one, no corner cut or track extension warning for that. And he is within 6 seconds now, so basically on penalties, Terror Racer's in the lead now. I don't know what the cheers were for, but oh, Terra apparently has one penalty. So he's still 2.6 seconds away from the lead. I apologize there, I didn't see that. But thank you very much for the information there. This is a beautiful view. And Terra Racer didn't gain too much this lap. Oh, we get the information basically straight from Terra Racer. Or, well, really from a friend who's with him in a PlayStation party right now. So, clearly, more information than we have. I mean, the thing is, I could look it up, but I don't want to go away from the action here. I would have to go into the race director, and that would obviously take away from the action. I'm not exactly keen to do so. 5 laps left, and it seems like the medium tires of Terra Racer are starting to degrade. Oh, and apparently Terra Racer is also 1 warning away from his second penalty. My goodness. He just needs to get within 3 seconds. He just needs to gain 2 seconds on Rob Forbes and stay warning free for the rest of the race. I mean, easier said than done, really, but he's still got the tire advantage. Those hards are really old at this point. The mediums on Terra Racer, oh, they can still do a couple laps. Whoa, that was dangerously close to a warning there and the penalty. .5. Rob Forbes must have made a mistake in the stadium section here. That cost him 3/10 in one corner. There's a racing point into the pits. Noel Petrick trying to get the fastest lap, I think. And Casper says, in Terra we believe. Look, I wouldn't, I don't know. In Terra Racer, maybe. But the way you phrased it, I'm not sure. I don't want the CIA knocking at my door, honestly. But 1.5 seconds now, the gap on penalties for Terra Racer on Rob Forbes. This is going to be really close. This is going to come down right to the wire. 4 laps left. Paresh picks up a penalty. That isn't going to hurt him too much because Flying Frome has a couple of penalties. At least 4. And so Paresh should be fine with P4. Shouldn't lose this. He may actually be able to get P3 if Konzo has a couple of penalties, but I don't think he does. So Terra Racer 1.2 the gap. You have to take off 3 seconds of the gap you see. My goodness. 0.9 basically within a second. 0.8. This is getting really close. 3 laps left to go. And it seems like Terra Racer is going to be able to reel in Rob Forbes at least enough. But can he stay penalty free for the remaining 3 laps? He has 2 warnings. If he gets one more, that is a 3-second time penalty. Just keep 2 wheels on the black stuff. That's all he needs to do. Into the second sector, into one of the slow parts of the track here. And he can see Rob Forbes. He can see the Renault. Flying Frome with another penalty. At this point, I think he might be nearing disqualification. Oh, and now Finlay adding some pressure to Terra Racer, saying, better not bottle like you did. My goodness. Can Terra withstand that pressure? Flying Frome left the session. His car is still racing. Josh has left the session. Yeah, he has already retired though. Terra Racer now 6/10 on penalties, but 2 more laps to go. Only 2 more laps. 5/10. The tires are apparently gone. He reports vibrations now. 3/10 is all he needs in 2 laps. Can he do it? 1/10 at this point. Once we see a 2.9 or lower behind Terra Race's name, he is in the net lead after penalties. And now he is effectively at that sector point, or that mini sector he was, and now he isn't again. They're basically driving within each other now. If you apply the penalties, 1,000th of a second, look at this. Through the S's, this is where he should gain, but he's reporting vibration, so ooh, keeps 2 on the black stuff. That was very, very close there. Through the stadium section, 2.7, so he is in the lead by 1/4 of a second. Yeah, the sweat is dripping, it really is. One more lap. Final lap of the race. If Terra Racer can stay penalty free and not lose any time to Rob Forbes, he has the win in the bag. And Finley says gets a warning last corner. We hope not, but my goodness, what kind of an ending would that be to this race? Once more through this section here, through this mini stadium, if you will. Turn 6. Now through 7-Eleven. Oh, and he goes wide! He goes wide, no penalty, but he lost some time there, surely. 2/10, this is going to multiply through this section here. Is he going to... Three seconds, he made a mistake. He's back in P2, now P1 again. This is really close. Turn 7 makes the mistake. Through the stadium section once more. No penalty, but maybe the mistake cost him. Through the final corner, Rob Forbes will come across the line, but will he win? No, Terra Racer gets him by half a second at the end. Unbelievable, he almost dropped it and now he's driving into Rob Forbes. Terra Racer back-to-back wins after back-to-back pole positions for the Red Bull driver. Rob Forbes, a fantastic P2 in a car that is not his, in J. Cole's car, in the Renault. 3rd place for Konzo, who had this awful qualifying where he got a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with his teammate. Goes up from P8 to P3. A1M Paresh P4 on a fantastic strategy here. Flying Frome in his first race in ILR4 after all these penalties still keeps P5. 10 points for the Racing Point in his debut. P6 goes to QBR Chill, 7 Slenderman, 8 is a Rich 500, and P9 Noel Petrick, and your retirees are BWT Josh, Chazza, Flying Cooper, BWT Paul, and Mr. Skyzy. And what a fantastic race it was for the Dutchman in the Red Bull, emulating possibly his idol, I'm not sure, but possibly his idol, Max Verstappen, another Dutchman in the Red Bull, and getting the 25 points here. We have to see who got the fastest lap. Maybe he got 26 there, but very, very good race, and in the end, just holding on to the victory by half a second over Rob Forbes, who I'm pretty sure is also very happy with his result. Best result he's had in ILR4. He had a 5th place in Singapore, mentioned it before. This time, P2, 18 points for the Brit, followed by the Scotsman Konzo in P3. And for him as well, this is not the best result, his second best result. He had a 2nd place in China. A1M Paresh, his best result of the season, P4. He had 8th place in Belgium in his debut. Now he's up to P4. Flying Frome in his debut, P5. A lot of debuts, a lot of good results there. Plenty of people who are going to be happy with themselves. But most of all, Terra Racer takes the win. And the fastest lap goes to goes to Noel Petrick in P9. So he gets 3 points there. And the 2-stop for once worked out fantastically. And that has been it for the ILR4. Congratulations to Terra Racer and all the drivers who feel like their performance warrants congratulations. We're going to be back next week for the US Grand Prix. It's the Tex-Mex weekend, or the Tex-Mex week basically, from Mexico over to Texas to the Circuit of the Americas. That's going to be up next week on Thursday. That will be June 16th, 8 p.m. UK. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Austin Smith, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.